welcome to Peeves and Cues, the podcast with reviews about cues that peeve you. I'm Anna, and that's twice I've said it right, and you are...
I'm Lee.
Still. Just in case it's changed.
Nothing's changed in the last 2 weeks. It's fine, don't worry about it.
2 for 2. I'm going to mess it up completely one time. I'm going to get it wrong 5 times in a row.
That's why we pre-record and it's not live.
Never get anything right when it's live, but at least things don't break. So it's been a fortnight, almost. Oh.
No, it's been a fortnight. Remember, these come out on schedule. We might not record on schedule, but these come out on schedule.
It is. I mean, it's not quite been a fortnight since we recorded the last one, because we recorded it a bit late, I think. I don't know, it was 2 whole weeks ago. I can't remember. Oh.
True.
But tell me something good that's happened since last episode.
Good. What episode, what podcast do you think we've been recording? What?
No, I thought I'd ask a hard question to start off with.
Actually, you know, it's been a fortnight, but yeah, I don't want to go into too much details because it is related to our podcast, but we have had some stuff happening behind the scenes that I'm really quite excited about, so yeah.
Lee's making friends. No, it is. It's exciting stuff.
If that's what I get out of that, then I'm okay with that. Stay tuned, folks. We got something special coming up. Can't really give you timelines, but we are working on it.
Oh, yes. It's probably in this timeline, not a parallel universe. That's about as best as we can offer. Oh.
Yeah. But what about yourself?
Something good that's happened to me. I know there was something good. Oh, I don't know. There's been a few things.
Pick one.
But no, all in all, it's been a pretty good week. So haven't had anything kind of completely horrible happen, and yeah, that's a pretty low bar. Haven't had anything completely horrible happen, so it's a good week. Wow.
Yeah, but when we are working with what we've got, we'll take any bar we can clear, right?
So no, we're having a really unusually rainy month. It's been the biggest rainfall in 20 years. So there's been a lot of staying indoors and not doing a lot of exciting things. But it's been nice, and have been watching the cats be all cute and stuff because, when you have pets, they're the world's cheapest entertainment. You think you've got the best pets in the world, which I do. Everyone else who thinks that about their pets is wrong. Okay, so sorry, but it's true. Jet comes in a close second. She's best cat East Coast.
Second.
Well, technically she's third. Second best girl?
True.
Best cat East Coast.
Best cat East Coast. I don't know. I think I disagree with that.
Aww.
Don't think she's even in the top 10.
Wow. Somebody's getting clawed in their sleep tonight.
I'm already being clawed in my sleep at night.
Oh.
Nothing's changing.
Okay, well maybe she's not going to claw you in your sleep if you're that into that kind of thing. I don't know what you and your cat get up to at night.
Let's just change the subject, shall we?
Moving swiftly on. So we did a poll this week, one of our most controversial polls ever.
Absolutely. Who really cares about things like masks or puberty blockers or tits on a live stream when we can really knuckle down on the whole really contentious episodes and ask the hard-hitting questions like, does pineapple belong on pizza? And 20 of you voted.
Yeah.
And 80% of you said, yes, it does.
Oh, that was me. I just clicked 18 times.
So yeah, we put it out there. It's been a week for me personally and for Anna as well. Last week I had a water crisis. This week the news is just full of unconscionable garbage from all corners and all quarters. It's just been absolute absolutely disgusting. So we figured,
And sometimes it's fun to do these.
first of all, we were going to dip our toes into the latest controversy. But the thing is, the format that we have really doesn't lend itself well to...
When you feel there is only one right side to a conversation.
You can't really both sides is rape bad or is sexual assault bad. There's no two sidesing that. You can't do that.
Is being a misogynistic jerk okay in the workplace?
Yeah,
Like, the answer's no and no, really.
Pretty much. Like, there's no poll we can run to say, and if we did, that's, to me, would be implicitly saying that there is two sides to the story, and I don't feel comfortable doing that. So we were going to stick our toes in, we thought not, but you know what, I'm going to say it right now, fuck Activision Blizzard, get your shit together.
So, boycott Candy Crush. You laugh, but King is actually their mobile division.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
I was kind of going through the games like, what, Candy Crush? No, this must be a joke. No, they actually do own Candy Crush.
Yeah, just don't play anything from Blizzard, don't play anything from Activision. Just make your voices heard. And honestly, the only voice they're going to hear is a financial one.
Yeah.
Moving on. Pineapple on pizza!
Pineapple on pizza.
Do you know when pineapple on pizza was first invented?
I do not. Drop me your pineapple knowledge.
1962.
Wow.
The Hawaiian pizza, as it has been commonly called, ham, cheese and pineapple, was in fact not created in Hawaii. It was created in Canada in 1962.
They'll do anything to even try and imagine a bit of sunshine. I bet they'll eat this in hot places. As they shiver under 4 foot of snow.
It was created by a Greek-born Canadian, so nowhere even near Hawaii whatsoever, called Sam Panopoulos in 1962 in Chatham, Ontario. Sad news, in 2017 the man died, but he is credited as the one who created the Hawaiian pizza. But this issue, it's a lot of tongue-in-cheek arguing that a lot of people have, but there are some people who feel very, very strongly about this. There are some people who believe pineapple should not be anywhere near pizza.
Interesting. We actually had one of our comments and we kind of got a little bit sidetracked on this. Our regular voter, regular commenter, New Zealand Charlie, was saying that she thinks that it's very much kind of places like Australia, which obviously do grow quite a fair amount of pineapples, are a lot more into pineapple pizza than other places. She said like America, which you then say that it was invented in Canada, which is kind of on the North American continent, and you wonder, maybe not. Oh.
I mean, Australia does have kind of an interesting fascination with the pineapple. We have the big pineapple. We have, what the late 80s, early 90s, I might even 70s. There was a massive surge in roast chicken places with the pineapple fritter. Yeah. You know those?
Yeah. Do indeed.
That deep fried burst of pineapple juice and flesh into your mouth. It's hot and it's almost to the almost equaling lava hot cheese for how much it burnt the fucking inside of your mouth. But Australia does tend to have this interesting obsession, quote unquote, with pineapple. But the fact that it was invented in Ontario, Canada, does kind of suggest that it's not just us.
No. And in fact, apparently, it's only the 5th worst topping in America. It doesn't come in as the worst topping, does pineapple. It's actually anchovy. They rate certain things like broccoli, perhaps unsurprisingly, as worst toppings to have on pizza. Eggplant, artichokes, broccoli, all chart higher on the list.
Much like pineapple, anchovy has its defenders too.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like that. I've never actually had anchovies, but from what I hear, it's like quite a salty thing. So it's kind of like olives, I think.
It's a very salty. It's nothing like olives. Yeah. It's salty with a fishy taste to it. Olives are just Satan's butt crumpets. I hate olives.
I'm not a fan. They're a little bit too salty for me.
They're just gross and bitter and like I'm the only one that should be bitter in my own mouth. Take that how you want. Pineapple on pizza is one of those things where I grew up with it, but it's one of the like one of our commenters said. I think the vast majority of people don't really care all that much. It's not a make or break for people. If somebody orders a Hawaiian, they might eat it. It doesn't really matter.
I don't think I know somebody who's, like, going to get grossly offended, table flip, and walk out if they see, like, a piece of pineapple has come within proximity of their pizza.
It's not a hill worth dying on. Let's just give it that much. But there are some people who think that. Like, and oddly enough, I'm one of those people that's like, I could take it or leave it. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. But it's not something I'm gonna have an issue with. But then, do you remember the dessert pizzas from like 10 years ago or something?
I do vaguely remember seeing some of them, yeah. And I think I remember like an apple crumble pizza or something like that.
Yep, apple crumble pizzas. There was I think it was supposed to be a pavlova pizza. Like, it was just normal pizza, but it had like pavlova toppings on it, like berries and cream and kiwi fruit and all the rest of it. Those I don't think we could. Honestly, don't think we could call them pizzas, to be fair. Like, I just... No.
No, I mean, if you made it actually like a sweet dough, I think it would make more sense. And I think it's more of a flavour profile issue, really. Like,
I think it might have been a sweet dough. I don't know. All I know is I saw it and I was like, no. I never tried one. One, because they were too expensive. And two, they were from Domino's. And in the place I was living at the time, the local Domino's franchise tended to burn the bottom of their pizza really badly.
Yeah.
So we never went and got Domino's very much, if at all. So not surprisingly, this was at the time when you could buy a large, and it came in a regular sized box. So it was small. It was smaller than it should have been, and it was burnt on the bottom. So yeah, we just went nope. Toss that out the window. But
not really doing their best work there.
No, they're really not.
No.
I think they closed down pretty quickly after that. But yeah, it was just bad. What was worse was they would burn the bottom, but the pizza toppings would still be raw.
That is
half the cheese wouldn't melted.
Messed up oven.
Oh yeah, it was like they sent it through with the bottom jacked up high, and the top element wasn't working, and it went through like twice the speed or something. It was awful. It's like the cheese was like half melted, if melted at all. The pepperoni were just still the main size that you would expect when you just put them on. Like the ham was like, honestly, I think at one point we figured out the ham was like Devon / polony for you. Like, that wasn't even real ham. It was just like lunch meat, like processed lunch meat. The pink crap you get in a tube. Like, just God. Diced up and put on top. It was such a bad thing. It's like, yeah, in that case I can understand. Yeah, don't put pineapple on those pizzas, because it ain't gonna save it.
It's not gonna ruin it either, to be fair. No, I mean, as I confessed to you before we started recording, I have ham and pineapple pizza next to me right now. I have the Hawaiian pizza. The very thing in question. Oh, I'm just having a braggy day, apparently. But no, so I think we know what kind of side of this debate that I'm on. But then, like, we also used to have, and I don't know if you ever had this as well, ham steaks and pineapple, or they call them gammon steaks in the UK. And I wasn't a massive fan of these, because it's this thing, and it is basically just a lump of really, like, salty ham.
Yes. Ham steaks I used to have as a kid.
Yeah.
You could fry them up. They were sort of like the same size as like a burger patty, but they were really thick, and they were really salty, and you put them in the pan and they were like pink, and you took them out of the pan and they were red. And
Yeah.
that was about the best they
Exactly.
got.
Yeah, but when we'd have those, we'd do like a pineapple ring on top. So it's kind of the same thing. It's kind of having that to balance out the saltiness.
Yeah, that actually sounds like a good combination.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, because one of the things one of the facts about pineapple that is really cool for me is it's a bromeliad. It's from the bromeliad family of plants, which have some really pretty flowers and all the rest of it. But pineapples themselves, studies have been done on pineapple, which the juice of a pineapple can remove fingerprints. If enough pineapple juice can get on your fingertips, it will remove it. It's something to do. It's one of the chemicals in pineapple juice, bromelain, I think it's called. It's, funnily enough, from the bromeliad. But yeah, it's why if you eat too much pineapple, your mouth and lips will burn. That's bromelain.
Okay.
Or whatever it's called.
So it's not the actual how acidic it is, it's the actual chemical.
It's the chemical itself, yeah. The chemical itself, it is an acid. It's a very potent acid. Like I said, it will burn off fingerprints. There's been historical facts about people who have eaten so much pineapple, the inside of their mouths are blistered.
It's crazy. Never happened on Gilligan's Island.
Pineapple is no joke. Like, I could, as much as I don't have an issue with it, I can understand why there are some people that won't go near the thing.
But surprisingly, it doesn't taste like oranges are quite acidic and quite sour tasting, but you know, I don't find that with pineapple. Like, I'm not a massive fan of orange juice and things because it's quite acidic and tart. You don't like orange juice? That look on your face.
Oh, no, I don't like orange juice either. Funny fact, there are two things that I don't like two tastes that I don't like. I'm not a fan of oranges, and I'm not a fan of mangoes. You put the two together, though, and I fucking love it. Orange and mango juice is one of my favourite juices. But I can't stand the two of them separate.
Just the combinations, I guess. And that is, I think, a lot of things that we think are really weird, it's kind of the way the flavours combine, really. And it's kind of, you're looking at the overall flavour profile. Yeah.
And I think that's why, when it comes to things like pineapple on pizza, that's why it worked. Because, you know, you put... It happens anyway. You put cheese and pineapple are things that go well together. Because cheese is a basic. It is a very
alkali,
very salty kind of taste to it. It's very savoury and creamy. So it has a heavy taste in your mouth. Yeah. Whereas pineapple is light. It's acidic. It cuts through, and they tone each other out. Yeah. In a way that is pleasing because the creaminess coats our tongues, and then the pineapple isn't as heavy on our tongues with the acidity. Yeah. But we still get that taste and that tartness to it, and it really works. And I think that's why pineapple in Hawaiian pizza works so well, because we also have ham, which is notoriously salty, and heavy as well, mixed with the cheese and the bread. All these things are relatively heavy. And pineapple being such a strong fruit. Yeah. Is it a fruit? Or is it a herb?
Does it have seeds? Good question.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Because you bury the tops to redo it, don't you?
Yeah.
Tropical plant with edible fruit.
Edible fruit, yeah. So I guess it would be considered a fruit.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. It's a berry. It's technically many, many berries that have grown together. Which, yes, makes sense, because if you've seen those videos, quote-unquote life hacks, where people have pulled the individual segments of the pineapple out from that little shell section. Apparently, that's the thing. That's apparently the way they eat them. Like in places where it's native, which I think was like South America. Yeah. Yeah, they would do that, and they would just hold the top and use a knife to cut out some of the areas and just pull those individual segments out. And that's what the pineapple bits were. We just cut it, cut it into rings and cut it up into little wedges, but apparently you can just pull those individual bits out and eat them that way.
It's cool.
But yeah, it's I can understand why people don't like it because it's such a tart and acidic tasting thing.
Yeah. Fruit,
berry, plant, whatever. And with the rise, I want to say rise, but maybe more exposure to neurodivergent people and how often things like that, like tastes and smells and things, can really cut through and really affect them.
Yeah.
That, I think, is part of it. When you have a serious aversion to something like that, it's because it has affected you on that level. You might not be neurodivergent, you might just have a sensitive tongue or a sensitive nose, because everybody is different and that's what happens. But I think that's where a part of it will come from, is people have tasted something as a kid and it has affected them so badly, like it might have burnt their tongue because they're sensitive to bromelain or whatever, and it's going to give them that aversion to the point where if it's on anything, including pizza, then yeah, you're going to have people like, no, get that shit away from me. And I know I've seen plenty of people who, you bring up the topic of pineapple on pizza and they just like, it's like a switch has been flicked in their head and they like respond with a gag reflex.
Or just they don't like the kind of the idea of, like you said, something sweet, kind of like the dessert pizza type thing. It's like that sweet stuff. It's pizza's savoury.
Yeah. It's like, but tomato has the same kind of thing, but it's also not. And there are some people who refuse to have tomato on their pizza as well, in any form, whether it be the sauce or sliced up or whatever. So I kind of get it, but yeah, it's just it remains interesting to me because I actually don't have that strong an opinion on it. Like, I'm not going to miss it, and I'm not going to get upset if it's there.
You're not some like gourmet pizza connoisseur.
I'll eat a gourmet pizza, but if there's pineapple on, I'm not going to get upset. Like,
all right,
there's a place here. It used to be here. I don't know if it is. No, it's not anymore because otherwise I'd be ordering from them. It was a place called Pizza Capers. Do you guys have that over there?
I don't think so. It doesn't ring a bell.
Well, there was a place here, but it wasn't called the Hawaiian, but it was called like the Islander pizza or something.
Yeah.
But what they did was they had pulled pork and pineapple and cheese, and so it was kind of like a Hawaiian, but it wasn't like just sliced ham and whatever. But they used mushed pineapple, like pineapple mush instead of pineapple pieces, and pulled pork, and they used like gourmet cheeses. Like there was like mozzarella obviously, but like Swiss base. So it was a really interesting combination, and it was really, really nice. And yeah, it was a chain restaurant, but it felt really gourmet to order what was essentially a Hawaiian pizza. But it was ham and cheese, and pineapple. But yeah, it was like it was pulled pork and pineapple puree and these different cheeses. And I was like, oh, but at the end of the day, it's just a pineapple topping. I have more issue with olives and beetroot on my pizza. Yes, that is apparently a thing. There are people who put beetroot on pizza.
How about bananas?
No.
Because apparently, now this is a really big thing in Sweden, apparently. About they're into
Really?
their bananas as a whole, but one of their, like, staple pizza toppings is curried banana.
Okay, that strikes a memory in my brain for some reason. I remember having curry banana as a kid. Like, banana with, like, curry powder on it or something?
Yes.
And they just kind of eat that, like...
Yeah. They put, like, the tomato base, grated smoked cheese, apparently, 2 ripe bananas sprinkled across, followed by a sprinkling of curry powder.
See, like I said, that brings back memories. I had that as a kid, and I loved it. But as an adult, my brain is screaming, no, don't do that.
Sounds so
Why?
weird. Yeah. Apparently, they also do, like, the Hawaiian pizza. They put bananas on that as well. Indiana pizza, Milano, all these kind of, like, fairly standard ones, they put banana on as well. And it's not a niche thing. It's apparently a very, very common thing.
I wonder if they put banana on a Philly cheesesteak. But, incidentally, I had a Philly cheesesteak pizza, like, last year, I think, for the first time. Or maybe the year before. And I understand the hype for Philadelphia cheesesteak now.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, it was just the pizza. I think the cheesesteak itself was supposed to be much better, but it's like 2 types of cheese and then this diced steak, essentially.
Yeah.
But it was so good. And they don't offer it anymore in my town. Like, nope,
You've got to move.
It's so horrible. But
you know.
it was so good, and but I know even if they did, I probably wouldn't get it because I had it once. I had the pizza once, and then I ordered it again and had it again, and realized that if I didn't stop ordering this thing, I was probably destined for an early grave. Because it's a lot of cheese.
Even light Philadelphia is still pretty heavy.
Oh yeah, this stuff was heavy.
Yeah.
Like, it was delicious, but maybe it could have done with some pineapple to cut through. Philadelphia cheesesteak and pineapple pizza.
Oh.
I'm sure there are people listening out there now who just went, bleh.
Honestly, they're going to cancel us for that one. So.
God, yeah, it's...
I'm not sure about banana, but I suppose people do things like on the barbecue and stuff. Again, the same as you do with the pineapple.
Yeah.
Some people do it with bananas and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, we had that. I think, again, same thing with the pineapple fritters. We had the pineapple, the deep fried bananas.
Yeah. Pineapple fritters,
Red
banana
Rooster, for
fritters.
instance, used to do those a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Oh wait, no, it wasn't Red Rooster. It was. It's a thing It's one of the things I miss from your side of the country. Chicken treat. 90s chicken treat with their chips and their pineapple fritters and their banana fritters or whatever the hell they called them. The tropical packs that they had. Like, it was so good. I miss chicken treat.
Well, you do actually have one not too far from me, but I haven't actually been there yet. Been here, 4 years? Haven't been to Chicken Treat.
I don't know if it's changed since then, but back when I was a kid, so good. That and River Rooster, which I don't know if still exists or not. But River Rooster, to me, has the best chips in the world.
That sounds very much like they were trying to skirt a trademark while trading on Red Rooster's name.
Here's a thing for you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this one's going to be really contentious too, but come at me. Is a pizza just an open-faced club sandwich that's been cooked? And if that's the case, you could put pineapple on a sandwich or a burger. We do that anyway.
Yeah.
Why can't we put it on a pizza? I mean, a pizza is just one big piece of bread with some toppings on top. If you put another piece of bread on top and cook that, it's a sandwich, right?
Kind of. It's not like the other piece is there. I mean, it's more like an open-faced sandwich. It's more akin to a frittata, I would say, or like a
quiche.
or like a quiche. Thank you. That's the word I was going for. Than it is like a sandwich. Though you can technically wrap a pizza in half.
Yeah, I mean, apparently there is apparently a way that you are supposed to eat pizza. And it is apparently folding it in half.
I think it depends where the pizza comes from.
Apparently, that's the Neapolitan way of eating it, I think.
Yeah, because like some of them do the really thin ones and like really huge. Like we have a place called the Palace Arcade near us, and it's like a bar, but they do have arcade games and they do food as well, including these huge. And I think there's something like 32-inch pizzas, and we will
Hold on. Let me see if I can get in contact with this place, see if they can open up a branch in my town, because that sounds amazing!
Yeah, you can order the whole pizza or you can just order slices. They are huge. And last time I was there, because our local Twitch community go there quite often, and we would roll it up and eat it.
I have seen that actually. Like they have
the easiest way to do it.
It's the huge like the table sized pizzas that are made for like parties.
Yeah, that's pretty much what they are.
And it's just like someone goes along the whole thing and cuts it into these, like essentially like 2-inch wide at the crust. And there's just this long, thin thing that goes to the middle.
Like those fruit roll-ups, but pizza.
Yeah, and people just roll them up and then just sort of like bite. Like they end up in a piece that's about this big or something, and you just go, hop.
Wait, they order takeaway. You could do it, Lee.
That's a heck of a takeaway.
I mean, they do DoorDash.
Can I get a pizza on the up?
That's a heck of a dash, but...
Yeah, the pizza will be $45 and the delivery will be $3,620.
Sounds about right. I'm just trying to see like if they have any pictures of the actual size pizzas, but they're pretty huge. They are pretty huge.
I mean, we're getting into, is a hot dog a sandwich at this point?
But do you have like a weirdest pizza you've ever eaten then?
Weirdest pizza I've ever eaten? Yes, actually. It wasn't from a store though. It wasn't from a franchise or anything. It was a pizza that a friend's mum made, which we're into some interesting stuff here. But she was interesting in the kitchen. But she made this, weirdly enough, cheese and Vegemite pizza.
I've had cheese and Vegemite scrolls, but not on pizza.
With mushroom.
I see it working. With mushroom?
With mushroom.
It's probably one of those things that sounds really weird, but actually worked.
I did.
I can almost see it.
It was a lot. It was a lot, taste-wise.
Yeah.
But it wasn't terrible.
It depends how much Vegemite you use as well, really.
Yeah, I mean, it was essentially, I think she used the Vegemite instead of the tomato paste.
Yeah.
But it wasn't thick. Like, she wasn't stupid. She wasn't peanut buttering this shit. It was a thin layer. It was a toast layer.
Yeah.
As much as you can with Vegemite. On a pizza base. These were all the little mini ones, mini pizza bases you can buy. They come in like a roll. So she had a bunch of those. So it wasn't really a big size pizza, but it was those things. That you can make like little pizza melts for kids with.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was that with like the little bits of like a thin layer of Vegemite, and then they weren't craft singles, like they weren't that rubbery crap cheese, but they were like cheese slices from like Bega or something like that. They came in like little box thing. Back then it was just like the 24-pack singles with little trays.
Yeah.
And they were individually wrapped, but it was proper cheese. It wasn't the rubber crap cheap cheese that you can like
throw at babies' heads. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You can't cheese the baby. Well, you probably could cheese the baby with these, but it wasn't that wet slapping cheese.
Especially take them out of the box first.
Oh, that's what I did wrong. I'll have to apologise to that kid's mother. I'm sorry I got the box. I'm sorry I got the cheese box wedged in your baby's head.
That is not where the dent in my forehead came from. It was a cricket bat. But that's another story.
But it was that, and it was the cheese on the top, and little slice of mushrooms, button mushrooms, with a little bit like I think it was that, and then like a little bit like another. Like some grated of cheese, I say grated. It was more like the little cheese slice crumpled up on top, and then chucked under the grill for like 10, 15 minutes or something. It was a lot taste-wise, and I think if it had come on a full-size pizza, I probably wouldn't have been able to finish it. But on those little pizza scroll-sized things, it wasn't terrible. I won't go back for one. And I think if I was offered one now, I'd probably go, no, I'll be right. Thanks. But
you know what? Just you know, I can do a mushroom pizza, but
Yeah.
not
I
sure
can do
about
a
the
cheese.
Vegemite.
I can do a mushroom and cheese pizza, but the Vegemite.
It's just a little bit too much towards the salt side there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit. That's that. I think that's about the weirdest one I had. What about you? What's your weirdest pizza?
I haven't really had, I don't think, weird flavour combination like that.
Good.
But we did.
Otherwise, I'd be wondering if we've been seeing the same people.
When I lived in the UK, and again, like I said, I'm pretty close in age to my brother, and we used to have a lot of the same friends, so we'd go out clubbing together. You know, kind of all this big group of friends, and so we'd often go out together. And we would go to this one particular place when we finished clubbing. You know, it was on the main street with like all the nightclubs and things, so it was open till like 2, 3 a.m.
Along with the myriad kebab shops.
Yeah. Absolutely. And they did great pizza, and they did a fantastic bolognese pizza. Now, if you haven't had a bolognese pizza, like, you should. It is so good. Because, you know, bolognese sauce is amazing. And it's just on pizza instead of pasta, so it's more mobile. But I went in there once with my brother, and they're like, oh, yeah, you want one of your specials? I'm like, what? They've named a pizza after you. He's like, I come here all the time, trust me. He's like, have the same as me. I'm like, okay. I'll have a one of him special, which they refer to as his name, but, you know, I won't dox my brother.
Yes, fair.
And so they give me this pizza, and it was just like, you know, like a personal size pizza. And then what they've done is they've then thrown chips on top and more cheese, and then put it back in the oven. And then they're like, you know, oh, do you want sauce on top of the chips? And I'm just like, oh my god. If I'm not drunk, I don't even think I would actually know how to attempt to eat this if I wasn't drunk.
You know, if it had gravy, there would have been a poutine pizza.
Oh.
Or a putain pizza. Well, no, that's not right. I can't remember how to say putain?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I thought it was poutine.
Yeah, so
I
did I, but I have Canadian friends who have told me that's wrong. So apologies, Canadians who might be listening.
I swear the Canadian person I know says poutine. But but it still had like the bolognese sauce underneath as well. So yeah, it was just like all this stuff dumped on top of an actual pizza. I'm just like, what is going on here?
That does remind me though. I haven't had this, but I know somebody who said they had. So take this with a grain of salt. But you mentioned bolognese pizza, which is a thing. This person, I believe, may have gotten the wrong idea of what bolognese pizza is.
Oh god, they didn't actually do like with the pasta and everything, did they?
They did.
Oh no.
So they got a deep dish pizza base and filled it with spag bog, essentially.
Oh my god.
And then cheese on top, and then roasted that. And basically, they came out with a spaghetti pie. That's what happened. They came out with a spaghetti pie.
It's a pasta bake at that stage, essentially, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah. And I think that was what was happening. But
I suppose if you put like a garlic butter base on it, you've actually got your spaghetti and your garlic bread all in one.
Yeah, I
maybe she's just like next level.
Yeah, she swears by it. She said it was good. She says she still has it every so often. It's a lot.
Yeah, it's like
again,
the carbs
most pizza is a lot, but yeah, like this one was a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, she says you can pretty much use any pasta, but she says just use the standard spaghetti.
Yeah.
The long, thin spaghetti.
Yeah.
And traditional mince meat. You can even use meatballs if you really want to, even though that's not really bolognese. But like, you can put a meat filling in it. You can just use your standard bolognese sauce, which is just a simple sauce. But like, you can pretty much do anything. So yeah, it's just like, that's a spaghetti pie. You've just made a spaghetti pie. What have you done?
It is weird.
She swears by it. But yeah, I take that with a grain of salt. If somebody out there wants to make that and report back to us at Peas and Q's Pod, you go right ahead.
It's like one dish cooking, and it's, what's your dish? You get a saucepan, get a pie base.
Yeah, get a pie base.
Oh no, something else. Like, I made like roast dinner, pizza, and I sliced the meat and I put that on the bottom, and then I piled some potatoes around the edges so I could kind of dam the veggies in. The gravy did make the base a bit soggy though.
Sounds like a Heston Blumenthal creation. Today, we're going to make traditional Sunday roast pizza.
I may never eat pizza again after this.
And we're going to put pineapple on it. I don't really... This is going to upset some people.
If it's like a ham, it could be your Christmas roast that you do that.
Christmas dinner pizza?
Just put the whole turkey in it. Or maybe you just make the pizza crust into the shape of the turkey.
Yeah, or just put the pizza crust into the turkey.
Stuffed crust.
Literally, well done. Can you give that one to you?
Oh dear.
Oh, we're well off the rails on this one. But, okay, so yeah, we didn't really get a whole lot of people coming out in like droves against.
There was no pineapple rage.
Yeah, there was no pineapple raging. There was no death to pineapple pizza lovers, which fair enough. Okay, we don't want that stuff on our polls anyway. But there's no hardcore non-pineapple, anti-pineapple pizza people.
Yeah, but I think it's the same thing if you like, should it be, traditional thin crust? Do you like thick crust? Do you like the pizza pie type things that they do in Is it New York? They have the pizza? No, it's Chicago, isn't it? They have like
Chicago
the pies
style
that they call them.
Yeah, Chicago style deep dish pizza pie, which is essentially they just made a pizza pie. Like it's a pie with pizza filling, which sounds amazing, and I wish they did it here, but also I'm kind of glad they don't, because again, it sounds like a lot.
You probably just get to one point and just go like, honestly, like once I've eaten one piece of this, like I'm done. I want a different flavor now. Like, how many different pizza flavors can I get in here?
It's a meal. That's what we've got. But absolutely. It's personal preference, and like I said, it is kind of a memey argument, a jokey argument. It's always the whole, are you pro or anti pineapple on pizza? It's like, are you pro socks on and socks off when you have sex? Like, socks off, by the way. But it's one of those things that people make jokes about, which is why we did the episode. But researching for this, I found some interesting stuff about pineapple pizza. Not least, it wasn't invented in Hawaii, wasn't invented by Hawaiian, and it was invented in probably the most unlikely place.
I know, I was waiting for all your 10 pineapple facts. I was wondering what else I was going to learn today.
Well, they're bromeliads. The bromelain is an acid. Can melt off your fingertips.
Yeah. The only thing I learnt about pineapple came from Sex and the City, and it's probably not appropriate. So
it does have that property too for females.
There you go. And apparently everyone knows this.
To a lesser-ish extent, but it does have that effect. But that is apparently just how powerful the thing is in terms of like its existence on this plane of reality. Like it's just this thing that has it's sharp, it cuts through, it can murder your fingerprints, like it can murder the inside of your mouth. It's dangerous, it's tasty, it's
a good anti-inflammatory, apparently.
Yeah, no, they apparently used it, the South Americans used it for lots of pain relief.
Maybe I should do that. You know, we're not allowed to have codeine anymore, so just get somebody to whack you at the back of the head with a pineapple. You'll feel better in no time. That's how it works, right?
Yeah. It's as good as anything else, right? I've got nothing. Like this is just this was a silly poll. We had quite a number of responses. I want to say thanks to everyone who participated. It wasn't meant to be taken seriously, and I know a lot of people didn't, but you know, I'm glad we got the results we did, and I do want to thank people for participating. And yeah, just like, if you like your pineapple on your pizza, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine too. But just the only thing I can think of why you would be upset about it is if you are dating / married to someone who does like it and you don't. But there's also a reason why any pizza place worth its salt does half and half.
Exactly. I mean, it's not something like, you know, oh, I'm going to have like triple garlic on it. It's not like you can really, smell somebody 3 hours after they ate pineapple on their breath, you know.
And like asparagus, that is a pizza topping I do not understand. Asparagus on pizza.
I don't get asparagus anyway. I'm such a kid. Maybe I'm just a really fussy eater. But like, it looks cool. Like,
it does. Asparagus
only
looks good.
I ate as much stuff as I looked at and was like, that looks really cool. So,
yeah.
You know, like you see, they do that and it's all wrapped up and it looks really pretty. And no.
I'm going to blow your mind now. Or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe some listeners. Here's the thing. I like Brussels sprouts. I actually really like Brussels sprouts.
I don't know if it's because when they were cooked as a kid, they always put like some bicarb in them so they didn't discolour or whatever. So it's always like reminded me vaguely of that bicarb flavour.
Yeah, well, a lot of the problem with... I mean, I think it's a lot of the problem with a lot of different foods that people end up hating is people only prepare Brussels sprouts one way.
Yeah.
And it's the way that makes them the most unpalatable, disgusting, horrible things you could ever put in your mouth outside of olives. Come at me. I'm sorry. You can like them as much as you like, but no, they're disgusting. You only pretend you like them. But, yeah, I think with a lot of things that people... Maybe it's probably true with olives too. I'll come to it this way as well. I don't like olives on their own.
Yeah, maybe you'd like stuffed olives, because then they'd have like other flavours in them.
Yeah, I could probably do that. You know, but just olives on their own I couldn't take. Find new ways to prepare food that you don't like. Not stuff that's going to make you really seriously ill or that you're allergic to or whatever, or stuff that you have a horrible aversion to for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But just something that you've had once and you didn't like the way it tasted. Find a different way to prepare it.
Especially if you're a kid, because your taste buds mature.
Yes. That's one thing I remember too. As a kid, I hated rock melon, which for the US folks is cantaloupe.
Yeah.
I hated that as a kid. As an adult, I love it. It is beautiful, tastes wonderful.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. So your tastes change and mature, but yeah, just try different things. Try different ways of cooking food that you might not have thought of before. You know what makes nearly any vegetable palatable to a kid? And I learnt this from doing it with an ex's children.
Cheese sauce?
Nope.
That's how we used to do it.
Yeah, that works too, but the way we figured out how to do it, these kids would not eat carrot sticks or anything. They wouldn't eat, no matter what, you could dip them in anything, doesn't matter. Couldn't do it. They wouldn't eat nearly anything at all. If it is a relatively firm kind of vegetable, be it like broccoli, cauliflower maybe not so much, but you know, it can work. Lettuce, not lettuce. No, don't do it with lettuce. What am I thinking about? Like carrots, tempura.
Mm-hmm.
Tempura. Huh. Just put them in tempura batter, deep fry them, pull them out, let them drain. You know, little sprinkle of salt on top. Voila, kids wolfed them down because it was essentially a deep fried. But tempura batter is one of the lightest. It's done well.
Yeah.
It's light. It's crispy, and it tastes delicious.
No, we were always the odd cheese sauce because, you know, it was always like, you know, one of us would eat peas but not beans, the other one would eat beans but not peas, and, you know, etc., etc. So my poor mum would make so many different vegetables just so she'd try and get like at least 2 or 3 into each of us.
As a teen, I couldn't stand sweet potato. I still kind of can't deal with sweet potato today.
Little bit of it, but not a huge
You
fan.
mix mashed sweet potato in with normal potato mash.
Yeah.
And then sprinkled, like, put cheese over it. I'll eat it. It's fine.
It can be very sweet on its own, though.
It is very,
Yeah.
it's very high sugary content.
Yeah.
Which, I've seen people put that on pizza too.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think as a way to, like an alternative to pumpkin, which is also another pizza topping that I've seen people use. People put nearly anything on a pizza and we're worried about pineapple.
Because it goes in the oven doesn't mean it's anything you can bake. Or maybe it is.
Well, I mean, we did have that roast dinner pizza idea.
I know.
So it goes in the oven.
I always remember when I start thinking about weird things cooking together, that girl I knew also in the UK was a friend of mine's girlfriend, and she'd never cooked in her life, and he was trying to teach her to cook, and she was trying to make a stir fry, and she was just like, oh, okay. And she was just like, can I put this in there? Can I put that in there? And she's like, can I put kiwi fruit in there? I like stir fry. I like kiwi fruit, so I can put it in there, right? Don't spit out your drink. And she was dead serious.
Honestly, I'd give it a try. But the thing is, what I would do... Okay, so stir fries can be as simple or as complicated as you want to make it. It is a relatively simple dish to make, but it can be as simple as just some soy sauce and some sesame seeds and some meat and some noodles, and away you go. Or it can be this massive, complicated thing. But honestly, the kiwi fruit idea isn't as weird as it sounds. And I would be tempted to try it, but it would be made afterwards. So you'd make a normal stir fry with the ingredients that you normally have in it, the savoury ingredients.
Yeah.
You'd put that aside, add a little bit of those into the back end, and then add your kiwi fruit and stir it around. And there's your separate kind of thing to give it a try. The sweetness of the kiwi fruit with that texture could work really well if you've got some more crisper, less harsh vegetables in there. Things like snow peas and Chinese radish, horseradish and things like that. Stuff that's light tasting and crispy that can serve to cut the edge off the tartness of the kiwi fruit. But it is also going to have to be kind of a soy sauce based, or a relatively salty based sauce that you're using in your stir fry.
Well, tell me how your kiwi stir fry goes next week.
Are kiwi fruit even in season? Kiwis in season.
Oh, you know.
October through May.
Oh, God.
That's the US. Kiwis in season, Australia. July to December. So, yes. Just. You know what? I will give it a try. I'll see if I can get some kiwi fruit in my grocery shopping tomorrow. And I'm going to give it a try.
If it's horrible, I'm not taking any responsibility.
No. If it's horrible, that's on me. But I'm going to do this. I'm going to do what I suggested. I'm going to make the stir fry normally, and then I'm going to take a little bit out, put it in, and then add some cut kiwi fruit into it and give it a shot.
Not just like make a pavlova and put some soy sauce on it and some ginger.
My whole body just went no. Oh, the soy sauce wasn't the bit that got me. It was the pavlova. I do not like meringue. I hate meringue. The concept of meringue screwing with my soy sauce? No.
It's just too light and fluffy for your personality, that's all.
It's a texture thing. It is. For me, it's a texture thing. I don't like... It may have been the way the meringues get made, but when I put them in my mouth and they just turn into this eggy dust that just fills my mouth and no, can't, no thanks, not for me.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, well, that was the Pineapple on Pizza episode. Hope you all enjoyed. Feel free to leave feedback on this episode.
Weird food conversations that you can have. Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, if you have any weird food combinations do you think we should try, or I should try, because I don't think Anna's going to do it.
Maybe try some things.
Just
maybe.
Not. Maybe. Yeah. See, maybe. But yeah, tell us your weirdest pizza. Tell us your strangest pizza you've heard made. Tell us your strangest pizza topping.
I did used to have chips with salt, vinegar, tomato sauce, and mayonnaise. But that was British mayonnaise, which is not the same as mayonnaise here, which is basically salad cream. But they all kind of balance each other out just to make awesomeness. I hate salad cream. I don't have any dressings on my salad.
I'm not
British mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise. Our mayonnaise, which is that horrible eggy white stuff that just...
Yeah.
It looks like it's gone off before you even open the jar.
Yeah, that stuff, no.
No. But yeah, just let us know. Put it underneath this episode when it releases.
Yes, and don't just say weird things and just dare us to eat them. Okay.
Oh, believe me, I'll be looking up some of these combinations to find out if they're safe and healthy. I'm not stupid. You're not going to poison me. I know some of you would like to.
Okay.
But yeah, just leave us some feedback under this episode. Your favourite foods, what you liked, what you didn't like as a kid, how your tastes changed, just anything that we've talked about this episode, go right ahead. We'd love to hear from you.
Different with it. Oh, that's one other fried thing I've eaten. Fried Mars bar. I did try one once.
I have wanted to for a long time because it's like inside this bread puffy stuff, right?
Well, it's inside a batter, yeah.
Yeah.
They just batter it and do it.
And
but the one that I tried, it was basically felt like whatever normal batter they'd used and the old oil, and it was just really greasy. It was not that nice. But it does all melt on the inside. But I think if it was done with a proper fresh batter and fresh oil, it might have been okay. But maybe you'd need some vanilla ice cream to cut it, or something like that.
Same with I wouldn't mind trying the deep fried lemonade.
Fried lemonade?
Yeah, that's a thing.
How do you, I know ice cream, but at least that's a solid.
Deep fried Coke. It's something to do with they make the batter or this sponge. I think it's a sponge cake, and then they just immerse it in lemonade until the thing is basically 90% lemonade and 10% cake, and then they just drop that into the deep fryer.
Okay, so it's kind of the same principle as a vodka watermelon.
I think so, yeah. I think that's how it works. I don't know, but yeah, apparently that's what it is, because you put it in the deep fryer and it quickly fries up over the top, and the inside, the cakey kind of melts into this lemonade-y, puffy thing, and you just kind of bite into it and just get this hot squirt of lemonade in your mouth, apparently.
Sounds
the
hazardous.
Phrase, hot squirt of X.
You said it, not me.
Yes, well,
I'm sure I don't know what you're talking about.
Neither do I, honestly. It's been so long. All right, let's wrap it up there before things get a little bit too happy hour.
So, if you would like to suggest weird things for Lee to put in his mouth, message us at PainPineapplePizzaPain.
Oh dear, we're going to get some interesting responses to that one. Yeah, you as I said, you can find us at PeevesQsPod on Twitter. That's where we do all our polls. You can find us on Spotify. You can find us on iTunes. Yeah, and pretty much anywhere you get your podcasts from.
So glad you said that, because it came out and then suddenly I was like, oh my god, I think I actually said our old Twitter handle.
No, you didn't. You're lucky your mic didn't pick that one up, I bet.
I said I did do the right one.
Yes. No, I figured you would.
And other than that, you can also find Lee at One Live Zero Continues on Twitch and Twitter. And of course myself at Analog Gaming and the same.
Exactly.
Well, not so much Twitch at the moment, but you know, I have a presence there. Follow me to see when I come back. So it's...
And yeah, thank you very much for listening. And keep an eye on the Twitter for the next poll, and we will see you on the next episode. Have a good one.
Thanks for
Peace.
listening. Good night.